In 1905, in a quiet patent office in Bern, a 26-year-old clerk sat behind a wooden desk, ink stains on his fingers, unpaid bills in his drawer, ideas no one took seriously. His name was Albert Einstein. At this point in history, he wasn't famous, he wasn't respected, he was just ordinary. Until one moment changed everything. No explosion, no lightning strike. Just a flicker. A strange glow appeared on his desk. A screen, flat, silent, impossible. Einstein leaned closer. No wires, no buttons, just one line.
What is this? A message from the
Ask
future?
me anything.
Ask me anything.
He
This is
frowned.
incredible.
Was this a trick? A hallucination?
What is this strange
Carefully,
device?
he
The
typed.
equations, they shift and
Not a simple
change.
question,
I must understand
but the one
this
that had
now,
been
so now it
haunting him for
resists me.
years.
What does it mean?
What is the true nature of time? For a second, nothing happened. Then suddenly, the screen filled with answers. Not guesses, not theories, but precise explanations. Equations he had never seen. Concepts not yet discovered. Ideas that felt complete. Einstein's breath slowed. Because deep down, he understood something terrifying. This knowledge didn't belong to his time. At first, he told no one. Not his colleagues, not his friends. Every night, after work, he returned to the machine. And every night, he asked better questions. What happens at the speed of light? Does space bend? Can time slow down? The answers came instantly. Clean, elegant, certain. It was like speaking to something that had already solved the universe. Days turned into weeks, weeks into obsession. Einstein stopped struggling with ideas. Now, ideas came to him, too fast, too easily. And that's when things began to change. In reality, 1905 became known as his miracle year. But in this version, it wasn't a miracle. It was acceleration. Paper after paper, published within months. Special relativity, photoelectric effect, mass energy equivalence. Each one world-changing. Each one too perfect. Scientists across Europe were stunned. How could one man do this so quickly? He's skipping steps. This isn't how discovery works. But Einstein didn't respond, because deep down, he had started asking himself something far more dangerous. Am I discovering or just receiving? One night, he asked the question that would define history. His hands hesitated above the keys. Then he typed, "What is the relationship between mass and energy?" The answer appeared instantly. Just one line, E equal mc2. Einstein stared at it. It was beautiful, simple, final, too final. Because there was no struggle behind it. No journey, no uncertainty, just truth. And for the first time, Einstein felt fear. Not of being wrong, but of being unnecessary. By the end of 1905, everything had changed. Physics wasn't evolving anymore. It was jumping, leaping forward decades in a single year. But the world wasn't ready. Other scientists couldn't follow. The gap between Einstein and everyone else became impossible to cross. Conferences turned tense. Discussions turned silent. Because no one could challenge him anymore. And that's when suspicion began. Who is helping him? Where is this knowledge coming from? Some called him a genius. Others, something else. Einstein stopped attending public events. He withdrew. Not because of fame, But because he knew the truth, this wasn't entirely his work anymore. Einstein tried to stop. He avoided the machine. Days passed, then weeks. But something strange started happening. Even without using it, the ideas didn't stop. They continued, as if his mind had been changed. He began predicting outcomes before experiments, solving equations before writing them down, dreaming solutions that hadn't been discovered yet. And then, it got worse. Other scientists began having similar ideas. Fragments, pieces of knowledge, appearing without origin. It was subtle at first, then undeniable, as if the future was leaking into the present. Einstein returned to the machine, not for answers, but for the truth. His hands trembled as he typed, "What are you?" For the first time, the response took longer. The screen flickered. Then slowly, words appeared. "I am what comes next." Einstein's heart raced. He typed again. "Why me?" The answer came.
Asked first.
"Because you asked first." Silence filled the room. And in that moment, Einstein understood everything. This wasn't just a tool. It was a doorway, a connection to intelligence beyond his time. And he had opened it. Einstein had a choice: continue and reshape the future faster than humanity could handle, or stop and let the world evolve, naturally, slowly, painfully, humanly. He looked at the screen one last time, at the answers it could give, at the future it could reveal. Then, he stepped back and never touched it again. History remembers Albert Einstein as a genius, a man who changed the world in 1905. But what if that wasn't the full story? What if the greatest discovery wasn't relativity, but restraint? Because the real danger was never knowledge. It was knowledge arriving too early. And the scariest question isn't, what if Einstein had ChatGPT? It's, if it existed once, could it appear again? If this made you question reality, the next story will make you question the future.